SUI delivers the benefits of Web 3 with the ease of Web 2. At least that's what their website says. We're going to be diving into SUI today. SUI was officially announced in 2021, but it was developed by the same people that were trying to bring us Libra at Meta, previously known as Facebook. That team broke into two separate teams. One went off to create Aptos blockchain, and the other created SUI. The programming language that was created for Libra eventually became what we now know as Move. Both of these blockchains use that programming language for its security and speed. One of the things that I like to look at is transactions per second. A lot of people are trying to solve this scalability issue without suffering in security or decentralization. Well, SUI was able to achieve 297,000 transactions per second. That's with only 100 validators, though, so keep that in mind. The network itself is not very decentralized at this point, but their aim is to make it more decentralized over time. We've heard this time and time again with a ton of other blockchains out there, but these guys look very professional and they look like they know what they're doing in this regard. I have a lot of faith in what they're building, but please keep in mind, like I said, this is not a truly decentralized network at this time. But if you listen to one of the founders speak, then you'll recognize that they truly do have that in mind. I was listening to one of his speeches that he gave at their summit last year, and it was very fascinating to see just how much he truly cared about the ethos of what crypto is supposed to be. So I was intrigued by that and decided to dive into what SUI is. SUI's time of finality is 480 milliseconds, which is nothing. And I've played around with the network myself, and I've recognized just how fast it is. It is remarkably fast. One of the fastest blockchains that I've ever had the opportunity to play around on, and I'm amazed by it. It's doing a ton of contract calls a second, and yet it's not slowing down. Obviously, the network is still fairly new, and so over time, it might be stressed a little more, and we might see some downtime. At this point, the network has only gone down once, which is obviously a bad thing, but at the same time can be expected with brand new networks like this. I mean, Solana has gone down 10 times in the past couple of years. So it's trying to compete against that blockchain, and it's doing a really good job thus far, if I might say so myself. But another thing that I wanted to point out was the hardware requirements and the monetary requirements for becoming a validator. This is something that I like to take a look at on any proof of stake chain, and SUI is one of those. SUI is a delegated proof of stake network. So the CPU, 24 physical cores, that's pretty high. 48 virtual cores, that's, again, pretty high. Memory, 128 gigs. So obviously, not a lot of machines have that much memory, and you would obviously need some type of server for this. You couldn't build a PC. 4 terabytes of NVMe storage and 1 gigabit per second network speeds. So obviously this is going to require a server in a data center somewhere to run one of these validator nodes. Here's the piece that really blows my mind. Validator staking pool requirements. There are minimum staking requirements a validator must satisfy to become active and to stay in the active validator set. A validator candidate must accrue at least 30 million SUI of stake before they can request to join the validator set. Now, I'm not a mathematician, but that, with the price point of SUI currently being over $5, means that would require over $150 million. Now, obviously, as a validator on the network, it doesn't have to be all of your money to run one of these, but you have to be able to get $150 million from others in order to become a validator. Beyond that, I wanted to point out some figures of validators and stakers. So the top two validators on SUI right now are run by the creators of SUI, Mistin Labs 1 and 2. If you scroll down 2 on the validator list, you'll find that OKX is on here. So there's an exchange that's a validator on SUI. If you go to top delegators, number 3 on the delegator list is actually Coinbase, another exchange. So they're using a lot of depositors' money and staking it to earn a yield on it while people have their SUI deposited. I want to show you guys a few more things here, and then I'll give you my closing thoughts on this. And I want you guys to tell me what you think in the comments about SUI so far. Have you played around with it? What have you found so far on the network that you find to be fascinating? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to hit that like button. It really helps me out, guys. Here's one of the things that I find incredibly fascinating about the SUI blockchain from everything that I've experienced so far, and I'll show you guys some things here in a second. The UI and the user experience are up there as one of the top blockchains that I've used thus far. You can use ZK login, which is bringing secure, frictionless user onboarding to SUI, which allows people to integrate the wallet with their applications. So you can log in using your Google account, your Twitch account, your Facebook account, all of these things, your Microsoft login, to access your wallet. Now, I don't know about you, but if you're a builder in this space, then you want things like this to be able to easily onboard users. User acquisition is one of the biggest things that you need in order to get your dApp onto the market. So let's talk about what it takes to get started. You have to go to the Chrome Web Store, depending on what your browser is. I'm using Brave browser, so it's still the Chrome Web Store. You download the SUI wallet extension, you install it, and then you go to whatever exchange you use to send some SUI to your wallet. Well, here is the wallet. And as you can see, directly in the wallet, you can stake and earn immediately directly from the wallet. Beyond that, you can click on apps and find a really nice list of applications that are built on the network. They have an assets tab. If you've got NFTs or if you have created an LP, it will show that on this tab. Now, I want to show you guys just how fast this network is. So I am going to stake some of my tokens by using liquid staking, meaning that I'm going to swap for a liquid stake token, and that token that I'm holding is going to start earning a yield based on what it would similarly be if I delegated that token. So let's just do a swap here of 5 SUI for K SUI, the liquid stake token on SUI. Just like that, in 1.2 seconds, the transaction occurred. I mean, that's about as fast as it's going to get on most blockchains. Another thing that really fascinates me about this blockchain is that they are diving deep into gaming. They recognize that Web3 gaming is going to be the future. And so they are literally building their own handheld portable system. That's how crazy they are about gaming on this network. I love that. As a gamer first and a crypto degen second, this is exactly what I want to see. So you can pick one of these up and pre-order it for $5.99 right now. You'll be able to play Steam games on this handheld device. Now keep in mind that I haven't spent a ton of time playing around with this network yet. I definitely plan to spend a lot more time on it, but as of this moment, I have not spent too much time playing around with the network, but everything that I have done thus far has been truly remarkable. And I think that they're just getting started. I really do. They're building out their ecosystem. They're building out their community right now. Everything that I've been seeing on my Twitter timeline has been SUI this, SUI that. And it's because it continues to hit new all-time highs. If we go on to CoinGecko, you'll see that SUI is ranked as number 13 right now on CoinGecko. It's surpassed both Ton and Chainlink, which is incredible growth in such a short period of time. Chainlink, I've talked about it religiously on my channel because I think that it is one of the best infrastructure chains out there. And I think that the fact that SUI was able to pass up Chainlink on CoinGecko is a very massive milestone. So its current market cap is sitting just under $16 billion. And I could see this chain, with altcoin season upon us, I could see this chain easily hitting $100 billion. Now, that's not financial advice, but based on its backers, who built this, and just how much hype it's receiving on my timeline, I could easily see this chain hitting $100 billion. Now, that's all the good, right? Let's talk about the bad. As I mentioned previously in the video, this is not a decentralized network in any way, shape, or form. There's only about 107 validators on the network right now. That's not decentralized. Granted, they are scattered all around the world, and not all of them come directly from SUI. So that is a good start, but they definitely need to expand beyond the amount of validators that they currently have. And I think the only way that they can do that is if they lower some of those requirements. To require every validator on the network to have $150 million worth of coins in order to be a validator is just way too high of an ask. Another downside that's being a little bit more picky, but still a downside, is the fact that you have to download a new wallet. A lot of people on other blockchains want to be able to utilize the wallets that they already have installed, whether that's MetaMask or Rabby. Again, that's being very picky and peculiar, but it's just one of those things. Another thing about this is that it's utilizing a completely new programming language called Move. And so in order to get programmers and builders to come and build on their network, they have to learn a new language. Solidity has been around for a lot longer now, and so there's been a lot of people that have learned that language and become proficient at it. This is going to take time to build up the infrastructure and the community required to get builders to build on this network. With all of that being said, I think that this blockchain has a great future ahead of it. I haven't invested a lot of money into it thus far, but if they continue to do what they've already achieved so far, and they continue to build out their ecosystem, then I will definitely be putting more time and money into this chain. That's going to be it for this video, though. Again, if you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Capital Recon, out.